Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm the Gnarly Gnome. This is the Weekly Pint. This used to be the show that was not a show, and now it's the show that is a show. And it's the show that now I think I have to apologize since we're 15 minutes late, because it's actually a show and it's supposed to happen on time, but it's my kid's fault, and we'll just blame him. It is definitely his fault. He decided he was not going to go to bed tonight. He had no desire to go to sleep, and that there was nothing that I could do to change that opinion. But eventually he gave in, and I won the battle. So we're here. I have some really fun stuff to talk about, some absolute misery on my end to talk about, a couple different things that are exciting. But first, this whole thing started as an excuse for us to just kind of hang out together on Monday nights and have a drink together. So the point is for you to take part by jumping on the chat, which we'll pull up on the screen here in a minute, and just telling us what you're drinking. You don't have to open up a beer if you don't want to. I get it's a Monday night, but just tell us what it is one way or another. Caroline is drinking an Old Rant. I think it's Old Rant, right? Old Rannell. I remember the beer, the Pilsner, from Greenbrier Valley Brewing. She says it was one of the mystery beers that appeared in their fridge the morning after their 100th episode recording. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, jump over to their podcast, the Craft Parenting Podcast, and listen to that episode, because it was an extravaganza. And we drank all kinds of fun things. So that's what she's drinking. Marco is having a truth in cooked food as opposed to raw food, I guess. I assume that means food cooked at home. I have not had truth in a while. It sounds kind of good. Let's see. Julia says, sup. She is drinking a beer from Pipeworks called Hey Careful Man, There's a Beverage Here. It's an imperial white milk stout with coffee, vanilla, and cacao, and a shit ton of lactose. That actually sounds pretty delicious. White milk stout with coffee. Yeah, sign me up for that. It sounds delicious. Josh just finished a Morelos from Rheingeist and is now having a Zombie Ice from Three Floyds. Two beers that I still have not tried. I still have not had the Zombie Ice, and the last time that I was at Rheingeist, which we'll talk about in a minute, I completely forgot that there was two beers that they had that I just completely forgot that I needed to try, and that was the Morelos, and they have that new the watermelon. What do they call it? Watermelly, something like that. And I didn't try either one of them, and they were both things that I really wanted to taste. So silly me. I actually don't remember what it was that I got a pint of while I was there. Some other. Oh no, I had the new Hot Rod Summer. Is that what it's called? The tropical lager, and it was fine. It was good, but I really wanted to try some other things that I just completely spaced out on. That's part of the game, I guess. There's too many things and not enough time. Josh says Zombie Ice seems like a not so malty zombie dust and a double IPA. It sounds good. I've always been a Zombie Dust fan, and I imagine kind of a bigger version of it is probably really, really tasty. I need to crack open a beer because I've been dying to try this one, and it's been teasing me in my fridge for about a week now, which was when my biggest adventure all started. So I didn't pull out one of my glasses. This, if you can't tell, this is a Sonder glass. Hopefully that gives you a hint of what we're going to drink after you... I think I put it in the little show notes. We're going to drink the strawberry funnel cake ale. Huge thanks to Sean White from Nostalgia. I met up with him last week to just to say hi. He was coming through town, and we met at Sonder, and on the way out the door he picked up a 4-pack of this and broke one off and handed it to me, because I hadn't tried it yet. I still haven't tried it yet, but now I'm going to. Oh, it smells good. I love a beer that when you crack open the can, it fills the room with the aroma. Why is it that every time I start a show, my kid just decides to start jumping around the house? All right. So, I mean, this just looks like a kind of a standard, boring beer. Big, fluffy, beautiful head, though. It says Sonder, Kings Island, Strawberry Funnel Cake Ale. This is a limited seasonal from their Gold Series. And it doesn't really tell us anything on here. 4.8% ale with natural flavors. And that's it. We'll just have to dive in. So, I mean, immediately, it's tons of strawberry. Tons of, like candy strawberry. This is not like fresh floral strawberries. This is like straight up like if you were describing strawberry to somebody, this is how you describe it. Candy, like those little you remember those they're like little candies, like little hard candies that are wrapped up and they look like little, like the paper looks like strawberries and the top's green and they twist on top. That's what this smells like, 100%. I don't get a ton of the funnel cake, which, I mean, I guess a funnel cake is not super aromatic in itself. My God, that smells good. Yeah, I guess there is like a breadiness kind of in the background. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to dive in. Oh. Oh, God, that's good. Yeah, it's mostly strawberry. Oh, no, I take that back. Oh, it gets it. Oh yeah, there it gets it at the end. Okay, that's amazing. That is freaking delicious. Big, bright, like I said, candied strawberry. So very kind of artificially strawberry, and I say artificial not in a bad way. It's delicious at the very beginning, but then as you roll into the end of it, you get this big wave of that funnel cake bready, sugary, just deliciousness. That is a man. That is great beer. It is definitely. So I mean, there are different sides of what you want from a flavored beer. And there are things, and we all know Urban Artifact here in town and what they do with fresh, real fruit. This is the other end of the spectrum. This is this is the perfect representation of flavor of artificial flavor. Man, that in the summertime when it's super hot outside, maybe when you're at Kings Island, yeah, that I don't know that you could do that much better. The blue ice cream beer was great. The Giga Coaster Lager, great. I think that this, as far as what I want to be drinking at Kings Island, might be perfect. Blue ice cream, the nostalgia of it is great, but this tastes so good. If you guys haven't gone out and tried this yet, get it. It's not on tap at Sonder right now, but I believe, at least when we were there, there were definitely there were some cans left. So go get yourself some cans. Go to Kings Island. It's supposed to be there all season long, so drink it there. Caroline says that funnel cake and beer are both on the wheat spectrum. Yeah, I mean it's not, they're not too far apart. They're a little far apart, but not that much. The funnel cake side of this beer is kind of the beer side, but there is definitely something else at the end that I can't place what that flavor is. Give me a minute, see if I can find it. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but man, it's good. There's I get a little more of like a bitterness in it than I got the first big swig that I did. All right, where's that coming from? Jeez. Okay, that was weird. Why is this my life? There's always something, which I guess is the theme of my life this week. We will, before Marco says dragons or goblins flavor. I missed that. Missed the reference. Julia says you're tasting the faint touch of fryer grease hidden under a snow cap of powdered sugar. Maybe that's it. My week started last week. Started normal, but then I had an event, which kind of goes back to the Rheingeist discussion earlier. I had an event down in OTR at Sam Adams, kind of a preview for 513 Day. And after that, I thought, oh, I'm right here by Rheingeist. I need to go swing by there since I haven't been there for a while. I try to make my rounds. Stopped in there for one beer, and then before I headed home to do this show last week, I stopped and had I had dinner. I'm not going to say where I ate because I don't know for a fact that this is their fault or happened there, but I stopped somewhere for dinner and had some food, and it was delicious, and I had a great experience, and it was awesome, except for the fact that I woke up in the middle of the night, Monday night, with just these horrible body cramps, like just from head to toe, just extreme, like just this real weird pain, and just had a terrible time sleeping. Woke up in the morning and came downstairs, and I told my wife, I said, I don't know what in the world I did. I didn't walk that much or anything, but man, I'm sore, and like I'm not feeling like I feel like I've been beat up. From there, probably about an hour or so after that, the just the soreness kind of started turning into these horrible stomach cramps. And that was sucked. From there, I started getting a little bit of a fever, and then from the fever, then everything else set in, and I realized that it was definitely food poisoning. Really miserable, bad food poisoning. So for the next probably good 2 days after that, I was just completely stuck here at home in misery until probably late Wednesday night was the first time I left the house after that, and that was to go record this week's Brewcast at New Ales, which I did, I think, mention in there that I had food poisoning. And even from there, Thursday, I worked a little bit in the morning and then came back home and still I was useless all day long Thursday. I couldn't get anything done because I was so miserable. And then Friday was the first day that I kind of started feeling a little bit normal. And I do mean a little bit normal. It was still like still a little bit off. But I started actually eating food again. And then ate okay on Saturday. I'm trying to remember what we did on Saturday. I can't remember. Sunday was the first day that I actually had full meals. So yesterday was the first day that I actually started eating like normal again. And yesterday was the first beer that I had. I did drink one beer during the New Whale show, but other than that was the first beer I'd had all week. It was horrible. It was miserable. On top of that, towards the beginning of the week, the website crashed again. Same exact issue from before. And so I spent a couple days trying to go back and forth with my web host, knowing what the issue is, trying to explain it to them and trying to get them to fix it. And they were just not very helpful. So I had to pull a local backup of the website and upload the entire thing to a new web host, which probably I don't remember how many hours it took. It took me trying to make sure everything was all set up and ready to go, and to upload it actively sitting in front of a computer. I was probably working on it for about 12 hours. That's what I did on Saturday. I uploaded the website. Now I remember. It was like 12 hours in front of a computer, and then letting it run overnight, Saturday night, just continuing to upload all of the pictures and all of the stuff like that are on the website. You're talking, over the last 9 whatever years. I think the total count was like 60 something thousand different images that are on the website right now. So it was a long process getting all that done, and then getting it to kind of settle in and making sure everything, and I say everything loosely, which actually that's probably our first. I didn't even pull up the chat earlier. Sorry. It's our first news item, is that everything's under construction right now. Trying to make sure everything worked. And there are still some things, like the store is still not up right now. There's a couple other little things. You'll notice things as you're kind of going around, like, hey, where is that? It's not there right now. There's still some stuff coming. Some things that are still kind of getting sorted out. It has been just absolutely chaotic, which have we just accepted the fact that by now that this is just the way things are just going to be chaotic. But the plus side of all of that is that the website is running now better than I think it has in at least the last 6 years. Like the new website is running really good. It's fast, it's smooth, it's great. The new web host is great, and hopefully we're smooth sailing for the next 10 years or so. We'll see. Julia says, I don't even want to think about how many gigabytes that site is. It's not too bad, because I was going to say I could tell you right now, but I think I already pulled it off there. I can't tell you. It's all just, it's compressed still, so I don't know. I can't tell you right now, but it's significant, but not as much as you would think. Most of the pictures and stuff on there they're small files because it's a website. The idea is to serve all this stuff fast and efficiently. All of the big things are stored other places. Video is all stored on YouTube. Podcast files are all stored on the podcast host. That's a whole separate system. So you try to keep the website lean and fast, but man, we'll see. We will see. I'm being cautiously optimistic, as I usually am. But that has been my life, especially over this weekend, is getting that up and running. Julia says, getting geek here. Do you host your podcast out there? That helps a ton. Yes. Yeah. So the podcast, I use Blueberry as my podcast host. That's where all of the podcast files are hosted. If we want to get geeky, I host the RSS feed off of my website. So the files get uploaded to the podcast host, and then when I make the blog post on my website, that blog post becomes the RSS feed, the RSS post. I don't know how that becomes the episode in the RSS feed, which was part of my my stress on Saturday, is that I knew that come Monday morning, if the website's not working, there's no podcast episode. I can upload it to the podcast host, but that's not going to feed into the feed because the feed is coming off of the website. We could go really geeky if you want to do a podcast geek show about the pluses and minuses of that. I like having the control over my own feed. However, I don't like the fact that if my podcast or my website host screws me over, the podcast is down with it. So there's lots of different sides. But it also enables me to have all of the podcasts existing on my website and kind of again, to have that control over it. I like control. So we've been under construction. You will see over the. I'm not going to give a time frame. You will see some other little changes happening on the website. Nothing major, but just some other. Definitely, there'll be some navigational things that change, and just some stuff to keep making it run faster and smoother and better. I did lose. I know for a fact that everything I posted last week, all of those posts are not up there. They. I believe the pictures that were out there, the picture should be on there, but in the database file of the actual website, that had not backed up last week. It falls in like once a week or so to back that up, and it just hadn't backed up. So I have to rewrite a couple posts, but that's not a big deal. Julia says, makes sense. Smart to have things split apart. Still, if one light goes out, they all go out kind of thing. Yeah. Working on a couple ideas to kind of, if something goes wrong, to be able to flip a switch and just immediately go live. It might be as simple as running a complete mirror of my website that's happening at the same time that can just be flipped over if I need to. It's silly, but we may get to that. I'm not gonna let this stuff happen again. Let's put it that way. I make mistakes. I've never claimed to be perfect at anything. But one thing I try to always make sure of is that I don't make the same mistake more than once. I like to try to make all the mistakes, just one at a time. I don't have a ton of news stories, but I do have one definitely local story that we have to talk about, and that is these guys, 16 Lots. They announced their grand opening for the Southern Outpost, which if you've been listening or reading or paying attention to any of the stuff that I put out there, I am super, super excited about this project. They've been kind of gathering a team around them in both the new location down in Newport, the Southern Outpost, and then also the original location up in Mason. And I think that this is going to be a really, really good place. I have been kind of looking over the menu a little bit, which I should have pulled up for you to see because, my gosh, some of the food sounds incredible. I will have a lot more about this. I will definitely be down there for their grand opening weekend. So I'll have a full rundown of my thoughts in a either a blog post or a video or both or something. But I'll definitely have my thoughts out there for you to hear what I think. And I can tell you that I'm excited. Julia says the number of fonts in that one image is astounding. Yeah, it's a little bit busy. The amount it's very the amount of ideas in Dell's head for all of this are definitely manifested in some of the imagery. Caroline says it's like the Five Below logo. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Excited to try some of the new beer. There is no Comic Sans in that that artwork. So the grand opening, it's actually not on the crop that I put up there, but it is the 19th, so that is Friday. I believe it's Friday, right? Yep. The 19th Friday. I don't know what their hours are that day. I probably should have pulled that when I was looking through all my notes. Let's see. Let's pull it up here. 16 Lots, Southern Outpost. It says, the excitement grows as we get closer to our grand opening. So join us Friday, May 19th, to be among the first to experience our expertly crafted brews and our delicious food menu. And they Don't tell me hours there either. I'm going to assume. I don't know. I don't know what their hours will be that day. I know I saw it somewhere. Anyways, just follow them on social media. They'll Caroline says 12 to 12. I'm just guessing. It sounds good to me, but I don't know that that's actually accurate. But all right, let's look at. Well, that's funny. So if I click, on their website, you can pull up the Southern Outpost part of the website. Let me get this beer out in front of me so I don't spill it. They have the food menu up here. They have, let's see, pretzels, Nashville popcorn chicken. Yep, sign me up for that. Barbacoa nachos, fried pickles and chilies. Ooh, fried green tomatoes, smoked wings, ceviche. Yep, a couple salads, some burgers, fried bologna, Northern Kentucky fried chicken sandwich. All right. Ooh, that does sound good. Buttermilk brined and panko fried chicken thigh, house pickles, apple cabbage slaw, hot honey on a brioche bun. Yep, I could definitely eat that. Oversized pork sandwich, mussels, pork belly, halibut, steak frites, grilled octopus. Man. And then they do have a little tab for drinks, but if you click on it, it just says 16 lots beer. You can't see that. It does, trust me. That's what it says here. It says 16 lots beer. That's it. Oh well. I don't know. Call them or something. Figure out their hours. Caroline says, just show up Friday and bang on the door until they let you in. That sounds like a good idea to me. Anyways, maybe I'll have more. I'll have more information at some point. maybe on Thursday I'll share a little bit more about what to expect. Josh says Ohio River octopus. Yeah, yummy. Caroline says, you know what type of beverage it is and where it's from. It's half the battle. That's true. All right, up next. This is the big kind of exciting news that happened, and this was super frustrating to me. This happened on Wednesday, which was the day that the website went down. It was also the day that I was recording at New Whale, so I was already busy and then trying to get the website back up. So I didn't have time to write this article yet or even talk about it online yet, but World Beer Cup. This is exciting. I like beer awards. I understand the people who kind of view them negatively or don't think they really mean anything because they don't mean anything. But I do still like them, and I like when we win stuff. I think that we make great beer here, and I like when we get that recognition for it. So with that being said, four breweries that have never won before at World Beer Cup won medals this year. I'm super excited about it. Rheingeist won gold for Cheetah. Sonder won a gold for Voss. And Streetside won silver for Black Cats. And Third Eye, of course, won a... I wrote it down as a bronze. Is it a bronze? I think it's bronze for Higher Purpose, their milk stout. Again, first time that any of these guys have won at World Beer Cup. To give you kind of an idea, before this year, Cincinnati, our local breweries had only brought home 3 gold medals total for World Beer Cup ever. So 2 more coming into that. So 15 total medals in history that we've brought home at World Beer Cup. This is one of the kind of higher tier elite beer festivals, beer awards, ceremonies that exist in the country. And so I'm super excited to see these guys bringing some stuff home. I will have kind of a full post on it to talk about it, but again, I really, really, really like getting some kind of recognition for the beer that is happening in the city. Aside from stuff in Cincinnati, you've got to shout out Fatheads, too, for taking home 4 more awards at World Beer Cup. These guys know how to win awards. That's 13 total that they've won at World Beer Cup. You compare that to what's happening here in Cincinnati. We've gotten 15 medals total for the whole city. Julie, yes. Ryan Geist won Cheetah as a cream ale. So Fatheads has won almost as many awards as the entire city of Cincinnati at World Beer Cup. They've medaled at every single World Beer Cup back to 2013. And that's for this year. They won for Headhunter, as was their big kind of win. Got a gold for that in American IPA, which is always the biggest category. There were 412 different beers that were entered as American IPAs this year, and they won gold out of that. So congrats to them, and really kind of have to give them some kind of notification for that, or some kind of you gotta take your hat off to them to for what they're doing. But yeah, so get out there and drink a Headhunter alongside some of the other great beers that we've got happening here in Cincinnati. But that's about not about that's all I got for tonight. I am recording 2 episodes of the Brewcast tomorrow. Headed slightly out of town to do that. Sean White points out that the Brewer of Seville had a great podcast with Fatheads. He did. I don't have the episode number in front of me, but just get onto your favorite podcast platform, look up the Brewer of Seville Pint Talking, and you can see the titles of the episodes, and just find the one that says Fatheads and click on it. Headhunter is a great beer. There's a lot of beers like that kind of just get passed over a lot on the shelf and really don't deserve to. You know, every once in a while just pick them up and try them, because there's good stuff happening. Like really, really good beer. We live in a great time to be a beer drinker. There was some kind of article that was posted by some kind of real estate witch or something. It said Cincinnati was the number 2 beer city in the country. We could talk about the validity or not of articles like that. There you go. There's Julia with the episode number, season 4, episode 12. For anybody that wants to go listen to that episode of Pint Talking with Fatheads. Marco says I buy Headhunter on the reg. I don't even know the last time I had a Headhunter, but I kind of want one now. It would go really good after this this delicious sweet candy like beer. Man, this is good. Oh, it's great. Anyways, recording 2 episodes of the Brewcast tomorrow, so we'll have the next couple weeks ready to go. A couple fun things, so stay tuned and keep your eyes peeled for that. And I guess I could have pulled it. Oh, no, I didn't move that artwork. Cincy Brewcast. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Some good content coming around that. If you don't already subscribe to Cincy Brewcast on YouTube, make sure you do that also, because I'm obviously pushing out every episode there, and we'll get back to cutting some clips and stuff on there. Maybe some kind of behind the scenes stuff will appear on there. I don't know. That the behind the scenes may just end up over on the Gnarly Gnomes YouTube channel. I don't know. I am working on more more video content over on the Gnarly Gnome, but it's just been so busy lately that it kind of gets pushed aside. With that in mind, I don't know how much it makes sense to talk about this here, or just do it in a video, but you may start getting a little bit more kind of the behind the scenes, day-to-day just kind of stuff on there in some video content. It'll still be beer focused, but I don't know, just as you start seeing more stuff, give me some feedback about what you think about it, and if you like it, if you don't like it, and we'll kind of keep kind of evolving what all of that looks like over time. It'll make more sense once you see it. Just stay tuned. not any of that makes any sense without giving you something to look at, but just stay tuned. Thank you, guys. That's it. That's all I got for you. Julia says, I want gnome bloopers. There are plenty of those. However, it's always hard to go back and pull old footage because I'm taking so much footage and just throwing it on archive drives because storage space, man. These files just get bigger and bigger and bigger. So, but yeah, one of these days maybe I'll go through and pull some of that stuff. Sean says, is that the restaurant or the old production facility? I believe that is the restaurant. All right. We'll be back next week. Thank you guys for following along, for listening to this show, for listening to all of my shows, for all of the stuff that I do. If you don't already subscribe, do that. Share it with a friend. Subscribe to more gnome content. You can find it all at thegnarlygnome.com. That's where everything kind of lives together. It's the hub of it all. If you really like what I do, you can always support by going to thegnarlygnome.com/support. You don't have to do that, but it really does help. Either way, thank you guys. We appreciate you so much. Cheers, everybody. See you next week. That's good beer. So good.